Nick Walthall, David Tuckman here for AVA Poker. It's Magic Tuesday, folks. That's right.
Oh, here we go. Wow.
Whoa.
Oh, look at these hands.
Kings are good. We are heads up, the double elimination. I love double KOs. Whoa.
No, he calls and it's going to be over.
I've got a keyword giveaway, Nick.
This is for another $109 ticket.
We're going to go with Madrid.
Type Madrid in chat. Type it wants to win.
There's the ticket. Oh, Banfield had a big one.
Oh,
Banfield.
The Gillians.
Oh, wow. What a run out.
Hello and welcome along to another Magic Monday on a Tuesday. Nick Walthall and Nick Eastwood are going to bring you final table action from our event starter, our XL Winter Series starter, a 150k guaranteed event. It's going to be fun. We've got 10 tickets to give away. Lots of chances for you to win. Good to see you if you're with us in Madrid. Good to see you back again. Nick Eastwood, you were with me in Madrid, I remember.
I think I spent like a non-zero amount of time with you, but I don't really recall, to be honest.
It blurred into one.
Yeah.
That was an epic stream, a 13-hour last day stream. Probably not going to get a 13-hour stream tonight, you'll be happy to know.
I mean, I would hope not, but you never know. I'm not ruling anything out anymore.
So David Tuckman still can't be with us. Unfortunately, his life is disrupted by the fires in California. We wish him and his family very well. Hopefully he'll be back next week. Let's jump into the action, Nick. 25.50, full house, 8 runners here, playing for an $11,500 first prize.
Oh, that's very decent, isn't it?
Isn't it?
Absolutely. We were treated to big blinds last week. Do you think we'll get a little taste of that again?
I don't know. Kick the thing. Kick the thing.
What did we do? What buttons did we press last time to make that happen?
Somebody tried to press the button. It went to 0 big blinds. That's definitely, look at that. That's not working, is it?
That's not working. No. What happened last week?
Let me tell you, I know that's not working.
Oh, it's all over. Everyone's got 0 big blinds. GG.
Yeah, it was good last week, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Less maths.
Especially fresh off a flight after a 13-hour stream recently.
Is it true you had slight re-entry problems?
Yes, I often do. Yeah, we may or may not have missed our flight. So we only just got back today. It's all our own fault. Or the river's fault that made me tired enough to sleep through.
I mean, yeah, the 4 days of streaming and 13-day last day probably played its part, in fairness.
Potentially. But we're straight back in the mix, just how I like it. Just how I like it. No action so far. Exactly. Nothing doing so far, apart from a few blinds being stolen here and there.
Well, while things are slow, let me just tell you what's going on. This is a $2 million guaranteed series of events on 888, the Winter XL series. So make sure you get involved. Lots of different buy-ins. XL Winter Series. I always say it the wrong way around. XL Winter Series. Lots of different buy-ins to suit your budget. You can satellite into the bigger events as well. So lots of ways for you to get involved. So yeah, jump in. There's a big main event that we'll bring you next week on a Tuesday again. Mark your calendar. Magic Tuesday again as we bring you the $1 million final table of that one. Do we know any of these players, I wonder?
Well, what we do know is Nalepo is here to apply some pressure, and they're allowed to, really. When you look at the stacks, the distribution of them, pretty much everyone can't really afford to play the game against Nalepo. So that produces what you're seeing now, which is Nalepo pretty much opening every single time they have the opportunity to, and everyone else saying, off you go then, do the work for me. So until someone takes a stand, that will probably be the order of the day. And as I say that, Mark John has decided it is his time to take a stand, but unfortunately, D-Jazz 222 waiting in the wings with Queens.
Yeah, nice spot when the only stack that you cover moves in and you've got Queens. One of the few times final tables are easy, hey?
Exactly. Well, we'll find out how easy it is. It looks pretty easy to me as, we've got a straight draw on the turn. There are some possibilities here. We don't find one of them, and we are going to lose our first player straight away, Nick.
Mark John, which sounds like a rapper. Was it a rapper? Mark John is out of here in 8th place. Well done on their final table, and they were worth $300. Yeah, nice. Mark John leaves us with $1,455 for 8th. Well played to them. Remember that these players have battled through. Let's have a look. What is that? 1,200 entries. Good Lord.
That's a lot of entries
to get through. Yeah.
And when you put big guarantees up, Nick, people are gonna enter in their droves.
Exactly what they're going to do.
This could be interesting, because obviously Hodor is one of the stacks. Like, he's actually second in chips, even though it's fairly generous to say, as there's only just pipping a couple of others. But yeah, I was going to say he's going to get shoved on here an awful lot of the time, and this is like top of range, so he's going to have to flick it in. Only a jack would knock off Hodor here. Otherwise, they are going to be up to 3.2 million, now comfortably in second place. I was going to say before this even started, this hand, as we got dealt the cards, Nalepo is going to be able to do pretty much anything they want against that kind of stack size, and the ace jack pretty much like standard in terms of ICM pressure.
Scary having the ace king there, isn't it? Because okay, super strong hand, but you literally, there's 6 stacks shorter than you. If you bust, you feel really horrible.
Yeah, and it's honestly, there's some pretty horrendous folds you have to make in terms of ICM there. But that is obviously going to be a call. And Hodor will be pretty happy to take the spot. Obviously, you want to ladder, but there's a lot of money to be won in the upper echelons of the prize bracket. So I think Hodor, happy enough. Ace King's a good hand, especially when Nalepo is going to just be applying maximum pressure whenever they can.
Very true indeed. Let's say hello to some folks. Say hi if you're in chat and tell me where you're watching from. Very, very good to see you. If you were with us in Madrid and you've made tonight as well, really well done, because it's a lot of poker, but we really do appreciate it. Well done for finding us on a Tuesday, Magic Monday on a Tuesday. Hi to Only Poker in Romania, Brazilian Donk in Sao Paulo. Lime Ricky's here as ever. Lime, do you ever not work? You are a machine. Full No One from Edmonton, Canada. Hi to Poker Pro, who's in London. Dale Ross in Calgary, where I imagine it's freezing still. Christian Oman is in Rome. Hi to Jay Moggy in Telford. To Champagne Poker is also in Calgary. It's the Pits. Good to see you. April, hi. Quantum Criminals in Stockport. Is there a lot of quantum mechanics-based crime in Stockport? There is when you're around, obviously. The Fist from Dusseldorf. Piano Cat's here. Gummel's here. Ron Gooder. Player Quiller. Sorananki. We're going to get you a ticket tonight, Sorananki, I swear. It has to happen one day, my friend.
Hashtag Old Shuffle. Well,
look at this. Bingo time for Hodor.
Indeed. Hodor took the double off of Nalepo and now turns the full house after defending their big blind. And Nalepo with a pair of 9s will not be too disappointed. May even go for another small bet here. Actually goes for 2/3, which is quite aggressive. This is a value bet. Wonder how many weaker hands will continue in Hodor's position, given what we know that they are comfortably in second place and pretty much the only stack that could harm Nalepo at this point. Really bricky river. I think most likely Nalepo will take showdown here after such a large turn bet. And they will do. King 8 is good, full house, and pretty much dead even now between the two.
Amazing that I think we have a new chip leader amazing you got a new chip leader after you rightly said when we came on. Well, there's just one stack that can do what it wants. They've got 100 big blinds or whatever. Yeah. No limit hold'em, swingy.
It's good for the game and good for everyone else at the table that Nalepo has had his lead cut quite significantly, because otherwise you just would have seen them open until someone had a very good hand. And it's obviously what we saw Hodor wake up with. Golden Gate with an interesting spot here. Obviously, shortest stack from Peravini, so the least worried in terms of stack preservation and laddering, because they obviously have to make the first move most of the time, unless there's some sort of cooler. Clearly they thought it was close as they took their time, but do fold, and everyone else does the same. And another few chips with Peravini keeps himself in the mix, buys themselves a few more orbits, and they could be buying themselves another one here, Ace Queen of Clubs.
Yeah, nice. Back to back. Doesn't look like there's going to be much action in this one. We do have a free roll coming up. We always have a free roll for you. We would not have a free roll for you. Starts in 20 minutes. 20 minutes. And the password tonight is it 888 Queen? Is that what it is?
Did you say Queen?
I think it's 888 Queen. I've chopped it off my notes.
Okay.
Bear with. Top.
Would you like me to check? I haven't actually had a chance.
Yeah, I'm going to check. Lime's going to tell me. Queen 888. Queen 888. Exactly what I said.
Very close.
I've never yet made a mistake on one of these shows. Queen 888 is your password for the free roll. Get involved. There's $500 in there for you to battle for. If you do well, you can tell us about it on stream. And you'll get a shout out. Have some fun on us.
Yeah, interesting going from what do we do? Maybe 30 hours of commentary that was like quite slow, and there's lots of gaps to fill, and you can talk about hands a lot. Here, you can barely stop talking about the last hand, and we're on the flop for the next one. Pair of jacks for Peravini, who defended Jack 10 offsuit out of the big blind, and Cosmo flopping top 2 pair. Peravini's going to do very, very well not to lose a few chips here. We'll have to start by losing at least 60,000, unless there's some unlikely runners. Call is typical. Oh dear, that is going to cost them.
Now they will lose some chips.
Yeah,
Yikes.
I mean, unless the rivers are 10, they're going to be losing all of them here, because with only 641,000 left in the stack and 442,000 in the middle, there really is unfortunately no other play here than, I think, check shove, which I imagine is what we will see. Lots of like ace, king, king, queen in range from Cosmo that will bet call this off. Peravini thinking about their decision, but I imagine it's going to be this one, and it is, and Cosmo's going to call this off, and we'll just have to fade a 10 to knock off Peravini.
Yeah, absolute cooler, and not even much room for maneuver or doubt with the stacks as they are. I mean, Cosmo hasn't called yet, but...
I mean, we're waiting an awfully long time for the most standard call in the world, but we shall see. It looks like they really don't want to come 7th, but they have to do what they have to do. And eventually we do get call, and Cosmo now hovering just under the 2 million mark, and Peravini is out on the rail.
Unlucky Peravini. For a second, I thought Cosmo had been watching too much Ian Simpson and was going to bet fold the nuts. $44 to Cosmo.
Meta.
Peravini. You have to have been watching Madrid to get that one. Finished 7th for $1,920. Huge congratulations, joking aside, to Ian Simpson, the 888 ambassador, who won the main event in Madrid, the first ever 888 ambassador to win one of our 888 live events in, I think, 7 or 8 years, or however long that series has been running.
I mean, it sounds like a long yeah, it was hugely entertaining. I mean, there's a lot
Where
of...
did you land on happy for him versus bitter? On the spectrum.
It was, I honestly think it might have been a dead heat. It was, I mean, no, he did take, obviously I missed my flight on Monday, and he did take us out for dinner at a rather nice restaurant in Madrid. So, I mean, I have to say...
Hard for you to be too cross about it.
Yeah, and he's obviously a very, very nice guy, and I'm extremely salty. It's nothing against Ian. I just don't like it when people are happy. That's the main thing. Someone had to be, though.
Someone had to be. Might as well be someone that buys you dinner and is a nice chap.
Yeah, exactly. But it is like, you know, hard. You say 8 years, like as if it's like, how has no one won in 8 years? But they're bloody difficult things to win at these big tournaments. Lots and lots
500 runner fields. It's tough.
Yeah, and mine's everywhere, by the way. Like the amount of spots that, I mean, Ian, we mentioned at the time, Ian easily could have busted if just Ten Carter didn't shove the Queen Jack of Hearts. Sarah jams.
Yeah, you're right.
And he's out in 6th. It's amazing how these things fall.
Yes, there's so much hidden luck in No Limit.
Yeah.
As to whether people enter pots, as you've exactly described. By the way, if you want to improve your poker, I'm going to shout out that final table. If you want to improve your poker and improve your tournament poker, and you didn't catch it, it'll be on our channel. Go back and watch the final table. There's so many instructive spots.
All you need is a spare 9 hours.
Yeah. you can whiz it. I mean, you'll miss all of our amazing banter, but you can whiz parts of it.
Yeah.
We need a big pots. Actually, they should do that. I'll tell them.
We do have a highlights video that's only 11 minutes long with the big pots in it. So if you do want to check that out, that just came out on the Ace Poker YouTube channel. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet.
I don't know if it'll have Ian's 2 post-flop bluffs that he made, a couple of them that were just absolutely
they were
really high-level plays, weren't they?
I mean, they're so tuned. I mean, we could see them, and I still didn't want to do what he did. Like, you know, I could see everyone's cards, and I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to bluff here. And he just does it anyway. It's incredible stuff.
Yeah, really, really good. It was a lot of fun. Absolute pleasure to commentate on. If you just joined us, this is the first event of the XL Winter Series on 888. It's a 150k guaranteed event. We had 1,246 runners for this one. These are our final 6, playing for $11,500. Nick Wealthall, Nick Eastwood joining us. Say hi in chat if you've just got here. Thank you so much for finding us tonight. We're on a Tuesday night instead of a Monday because this is the final table we wanted to bring you. Same again next week. We'll be here on Tuesday covering the final of the $1 million guaranteed XL Winter Series main event.
I may not be here. I may be finally supplanted. Hopefully, because obviously we want Tuck to be back to normal as soon as he can.
Yes, we all want that. Lots of good wishes to him, his family, and everybody else out there. It's a horrible thing to have to deal with, but he is fine. He's just literally without power. Does not have power. Does not have internet in his home. Can't even go back to his home yet. Really grim stuff.
Horrible.
Hodor shoves.
Yep.
Fly with, what is that, 11, 12 big blinds? 12 and a half.
Yes, something like that. And I can't call this, obviously, with the stacks.
What would you call a button shove with here, Nick? Just out of interest for people trying to learn.
Not my specialty, Nick, but I would say...
Just say a range, mate.
Probably king, queen. I mean, it depends on the other stacks, but because we're quite even with the two others, I don't think like we have to really be folding like too much, and especially because Hodor is going to be putting loads and loads of pressure on. Maybe king, queen, something like ace, 9, there or thereabouts.
Yeah, cool. I think that's good advice. Hi, NetJam. Hi, Bougie. Hi, the Crazy Scotsman. Hi, Schnickers. Cindy Bear, good to see you. Good to see you all. The password for the free roll is Queen 888. Queen 888. Get involved. $500 in there for you to fight for and have some fun.
Yeah, and a little pot to fight for here, as Nalepo won't need to do much fighting as turning trip 9s, which has Hodor dead on the turn. I'm used to looking for the percentages, Nick. They're not there. I have to figure them out for myself.
Yeah, they're super useful, aren't they? The live percentages.
Yeah.
I don't know why we couldn't get them on the client.
Not sure.
Don't know.
It's just more work, isn't it?
It's more work for someone.
Yeah.
Well, on the flip side, a job has been created, which in this economy,
true.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Nalepo finally wins a pot against Hodor. Basically, they'd shipped about 3 million over to them, or 2.5 million or something.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a leaky start from Nalepo, but I don't think they did honestly much wrong. And it looks like to me that Nalepo is the one that's going to be applying the most pressure still. Hodor pretty much has only played pots against Nalepo, which I wouldn't recommend generally, but they've kind of been forced into it. Mm-hmm. So a couple of stacks that are now, with those blind increases, a little bit more in a precarious position. Golden Gaze, I'm looking at you as you fall below down to the 800k mark. A couple others just on 1 million though. So a few short stacks here, Nick.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to see some confrontations. We have to.
It's inevitable. And there isn't really someone that's super, super short to allow, for example, D-Jazz isn't going to be folding semi-premiums just to wait for Golden Gaze to get out there. Still a tournament to win, obviously. So any opportunity to do that.
Hi, Sophronis. Good to see you. Schnickser says, I'm not Schnicker, I'm Schnickser. Look at my face.
Look, we've had a long week, Schnickser.
Yeah, a long week. Thankfully, you got a shout out. I'm not Nick, I'm Nicholas, but you don't see me complaining, do you?
Exactly.
Everyone knows who else do I mean? I actually prefer Schnickser.
It's actually a better name.
Yeah, it is.
We may, it depends on this, but we might talk about doing some tickets soon. I know that you like to.
We definitely are.
Yeah, I mean, it seems as though it could be soon prudent to develop some ticket giveawaying.
Oh yeah,
we should see.
Is that a spoiler?
I mean, it's not a spoiler. If you tell me that I'm completely off the mark, then we just won't look at it. So
we've got loads to give away. We've got 10 tickets to give away. $33 tickets, so significant, easily possible that you could turn that into a significant prize.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which we want you to have. So yeah, we will give away some tickets in a second.
Cosmo picking one off.
Let's see one more elimination or double up, because there's a lot of short stacks.
Yeah, there are. All we really need now is some sort of semi-decent hand for one of them to shove, and we should start to see some sparks fly. These hands, on the other hand, not so good. Hodor, though, as we know, It's strange because this may be a tell, potentially. Obviously, when we had the A7, we jammed. It's possible that Hodor's splitting their range between min-raise and all-in, but they were deeper last time and they shoved the A7. This time, just min-raising the jacks. This makes you wonder whether they're just doing it with the rubbish hands in case someone comes back over the top.
Yeah,
Sure,
I don't even know if I'd open that with 10 big blinds and 10 big blinds and the 2 blinds, but then I would have missed out on picking up the blinds, so I don't know. Yeah,
Hodor's just hoping that the 2 blinds are in preservation mode, even though you could argue that there's not too much preservation to be done. But as each of these short stacks get shorter, each of them will be less incentivized to play, so they can wait for the last one to go out. But DJaz has had enough, taking his time, taking his moment to push himself back above that 1 million mark and keep themselves afloat. Golden Gaze now into the big blind with an ace. Could be a close spot for them here. Oh, Hodor's going to take it away, though. DJaz has got another clean jam, and we should see him build another little comfort blanket for themselves and move up towards Cosmo, and then that could leave Sly and Golden Gaze as our 2 in the danger zone. No way we can call here with ace-9 offsuit, but certainly a reasonable open.
Yep. Probably going to be a bit thin. You never know. No holder does fold. All right, we are going to give away some tickets. We've got $33 tickets, and we've got 10 of them. That is a lot of chances to win. So we're going to do a couple of Loddon Thinks, which is what does Nick think, for 2 each, and we'll do a big bumper keyword to give away 6 tickets because we want to try and get everyone the easiest possible way to win. We'll do that on the show as well. Yeah. And at the end, we'll only spin the wheel of Poker Justice and give away $209 tickets if you've redeemed your Twitch points. If you don't know what I'm talking about, stick around to the end of the show. You'll see it. You'll want to be part of it next week. So, Nick, have you got a question, or I do have if you want?
I also have one, so I'm going to leave that very important decision to you.
I'll go first.
Okay.
Mine's topical to me and you.
Okay.
So very easy to play. Lime has put the rules in chat. She does rule these contests with an iron fist. The only way you can get it wrong is by guessing more than once, really. 1 guess per player. We've got 2 winners, so the 2 closest in value must be a unique value. Will win. Lots of luck to you. My question is, Nick Eastwood, you recently completed your first pillar to post live event commentary. Congratulations to you, and what a great job you did.
Thank you.
4 days of streaming.
Yeah.
Very simple question. You might even be able to get there ahead of me asking it. How many hands did you cover in 4 days? How many hands of poker did you cover in 4 days of streaming? Add them up, is what I'm saying. Chat, guess what Nick is going to answer. Guess what Nick is going to answer. 1 guess per player. 2 closest win a $33 ticket for play on 888. So you need to be able to play on 888. Lots of luck to you. If you're watching on YouTube, you can also play. Twitch chat and YouTube chat will both work for this. I don't know what goes on in our YouTube chat. Because we run a Twitch chat. Hi to YouTube chat. I really should fire you up, shouldn't I?
I've just found, this is amazing. I'm actually amazing at this. I've just found exactly the right answer. He's just precisely to the hand. The right answer.
Well done.
There you go. And I put it in the chat as well. Look at that.
Very, very precise. I appreciate that.
Done. Get me back in the commentary booth. What's going on? Not a great deal.
No, not a great, sort of weird lack of poker, actually, at this final table so far.
Well, I think a funny thing about final tables is it's, unless you're one of the specific bigger stacks, it's quite often correct to do nothing at all. It wouldn't be correct, however, for Golden Gaze to do nothing in this particular instance, as he is in the big blind with kings.
That would be tight.
Yes. And we are going to see open. And this is interesting, Nick, because, it's really, it's very, very close. Obviously, Golden Gaze is probably going to shove here. We won't see anything else from anyone else. But then it's sort of like not even that much more. How much equity do you need? We know that Hodor hasn't got enough equity against this particular hand. Is the worst one you could possibly see. And I think we will see fold. But if they just had a little bit less, I wonder. Fold it is.
Fold, yeah. So do you think that is a fold?
Yeah, I think so. I think 500k probably calling. 750 seems a bit steep. Again, bit of a punt from me. I'm not exactly sure. And also you have to factor in the fact that Golden Gaze knows that it's not much more, so their range is going to be exceptionally strong in that spot, and probably containing at least a pair or maybe even a king. And if you're always against a pair or a king and you've got king 4, you're going to be in pretty rough shape very often, so you're going to need some decent odds to go ahead and continue.
A little unlucky from Golden Gaze's point of view, obviously. They've got a under the gun +1 open, and they don't get action.
Yeah, but they're no longer gasping for air as Sly moves into the last position that no one wants to be. Doesn't mean they'll be out next, but they will be looking to find themselves a spot like Golden Gaze and DJaz have both done. Straight here on the turn for Cosmo after defending the big blind. Looks like even with Gutshot, this is pretty hard to navigate. No spade, of course. Does call, though, and a queen on the river. I mean, if you're going to call the turn with this type of hand and river a queen, it's going to be tough not to volunteer more chips in some way, shape and form. Cosmo having a think and going for check. Thinks it's probably too thin with the spades and the Jack X all out there. And Hodor gets away, being able to tap the table behind. Will not win the pot, though. And now Cosmo over 2 million.
Yeah, someone else in the not gasping for air club.
Exactly. Good club to be in.
Isn't it? That's where you want to be.
Above par club. Yes.
Nalepo right, here. The contest is closed. Is closed. Well done for entering. We'll get you winners' names in a second. 2 of you will have won tickets. And we've got 10 to give away on this stream. They must all go. So that is pretty fun.
Just 2. We're doing 2. How many Nick thinks we're doing? 2.
We're doing 2, yeah.
And then 3 keywords. Is that what we're doing?
We're going to do 1 keyword. Lime wants to do 1 mega keyword.
Oh, mega keyword. Wow.
6 mega keyword.
Don't get everyone excited. That is What's gone over us anyway? Is it just the Madrid 30 ticket marathon stream that we've got 10 tickets all of a sudden? Or
I think so, yeah. I think we probably found them down the back of a Madrid sofa or something. Oh, what are these? We're supposed to give them away.
Yeah, I think maybe they said that the final stream wasn't long enough, so we didn't have time to give them away or something. I'm not sure.
That's exactly what happened.
We could see Hodor shove it. I wouldn't hate it. He goes for that small raise again. Keeping an eye on that small raise. I want to see if they're doing that with some better hands. But we're going to see DJaz shove again. DJaz has found ace king twice against Hodor in some very profitable situations. Hasn't been called, but we know that with the blinds out there and the opens, you're going to pick up a substantial amount of chips just for shoving and getting fold. And you don't have to put your stack on the line and see 5 more cards, which, as we know, can be fairly brutal sometimes, especially on a final table.
Yeah, absolutely. Very good point.
Wow. Okay, so
that's bizarre.
Yeah, it's bizarre. Well, the reason we've seen that is because deuces, I mean, they don't really play well post-flop. So Nalepo's just saying, well, I want to realize my equity of this hand. And who can call if Sly's in the big blind with 400K? Would any of you like to call? I don't think you would. And basically just saying, yeah, none of you are allowed to play while Sly's in the big blind with only 500K. And, well, thankfully, I mean, someone could have played, but they didn't have quite enough ammunition to go ahead and do something about it.
Yeah, it feels... The thing is, though, when you've got 4 million chips and you're the chip leader at the final table and you're under the gun and everything, it's sort of implicit that they can play for 4 million chips. People aren't going to be super excited to enter the pot anyway.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It worked.
I think we might have missed a trick here with Queen 8 of Hearts on the button. Only 4.5 big blinds. Paying ante every hand as well. Big blind coming around in just 3 hands. I don't think you can realistically expect a better spot than Queen 8 of Hearts on the button there. So we will see if Sly finds a better one, but I think that might have been their moment, Nick. I think probably we do have to end up going with that.
Thanks so much for joining us. This is the first event of the XL Winter Series here on 888. Huge series, $2 million in guaranteed prizes, 150K guaranteed in this tournament alone. Blind versus blind action. Oh, no, sorry, under the gun versus blind. Nick Wealth and Nick Eastwood bringing you the action. We've got great poker content for you every day during the week at 8 on this channel. If you like a bit of this, follow along, turn on notifications. Tomorrow, let's see who's on. Oh, it's Nick Eastwood.
Yeah, it is. Again.
Versus Josh Manley.
I'm not allowed breaks. I might have to talk to HR or something about this.
I know, you are getting absolutely milked.
Yeah. Someone else who might be having a word with HR is DJaz. Jacks against Ace King doesn't seem very fair, but that's exactly what we're going to see. Hodor's going to shove G-Jazz, even with slide behind, with shorter stack. Can't fold. I said he can't fold, Nick. Nick, I said he can't fold.
He's coming to terms with it. I can't fold.
Here we go. We're off to the races. No ace or king yet. 84% for D-Jazz, who'll be praying to hang on and does. Queen of spades, no good for Hodor. And 2.7 million for D-Jazz.
See, you can win with jacks.
Possible.
We've got winners. Nick, I asked you in our and especially your marathon effort over the weekend.
Yeah.
Considering you did 4 days, I only did 3. In 4 days of streaming, how many hands did you cover for the good people of 888 channel?
Yeah. So I assume you want my working out because you're very serious about this game.
Yeah,
so I think my first 3 days were 6 hours long, and I think probably averaging about 20 hands an hour. So I did 20 times those 3 days of 6 hours. And then I added on an extra 5 hands an hour for the last day, because I think when you get shorter, you probably play a few more. So I put 25 times 13 and we arrived at exactly 685. But anyone that thinks we're not taking this seriously, King 3 of spades does turn a flush against Nalepo, and it looks like Sly is going to hold on here unless Nalepo can boat up on the river, and they can't. And everyone else at the table is fairly gutted that Sly has found a lifeline.
Absolutely, they are. Sly doubles up. We've got joint shortest stacks now. So 685 is the correct answer. Look at this. Schnickser, who loves being called Schnickers.
No way.
Schnickser, who loves being called Schnickers. That is now your name on this channel. You've won. Great guess by you, 677. And Gumel554 guessed 678. Well done to you. Honourable mention to Fentop, who also guessed 678. But Gummel got there first. So 2 winners, $33 each heading your way. Open your whispers so Lime can tell you all about how to get them. We've got lots more tickets to give away. 8 more tickets, including Mega Keyword, which is coming up.
Mega Keyword. Little donk from Nalepo on the 6-3 deuce favours big blind decided to exercise their strength and takes that one away. D-Jazz got the jacks back. You're going to be doing pretty well if you can get dealt big pocket pairs back to back in final tables.
Yes, you are.
Going to open two big blinds, and Golden Gaze will have to defend in some manner, and that is very extremely and completely unacceptably tight.
Yeah, there's just so much money in the middle there relative to their stack.
Yeah, and completely rewarded, by the way, with Ace King in the very next hand. And it doesn't look like they'll be doing anything.
You've got to know when it's coming.
It's just my problem. I don't know when things are coming. No idea. Yeah, it's true. All in from Golden Gaze, and he picks off gets all the blinds back that he relinquished so unacceptably in the previous hand. And we're seeing a lot of dust being dealt around the table. How many deuces are in this deck?
Dust
4s and 3s, and
dust heavy.
Yeah, extremely weighted to dust. And a faux all in from Sly, just letting everyone know that I'm probably all in, guys, but should somebody else do something rather erratic, I'm happy to fold and take a few ladders.
Guess which of our final tablists has won the most in bounties in this tournament?
I am going to go with Golden Gaze, just because that seems like the...
Did you look at the
No,
notes?
I didn't look.
Oh,
No.
wow. Yes.
I just think I heard it in your voice.
Will they be out now? Need this to hold? Does hold through the turn. Doesn't hold through the river. No. I would say unlucky Golden Gaze, but you've had a great tournament. Always annoying to lose a flip at the end. But 6th place is good for $2,500. And then they won over $3,000 in bounties. And a big bounty was on their head. Cosmo adds $300 to their pile.
Yeah, brilliant stuff from Golden Gaze, but has to take their leave. That is the nature of the beast. Unfortunately, flips rather important to win, and they did not win this one, but they must have won a few to have that many bounties along the way. Queen 10 of Hearts, interesting spot, maybe about to do Nick's favorite thing in the world and call the small blind.
From the small blind.
And they do treat themselves to a small blind call. if Nick hadn't spent the last God knows how long of his life watching people call out the small blind. We've got another culprit.
I know. Sad but true.
King of Hearts on the turn gives D-Jazz, Nick would probably say, an undeserved straight and flush draw. And we do see a bet now from Nalepo, who does have a heart. And we are going to see the absolute nuts. You guys, call out the small blind. Don't listen to this
Good
guy.
things will happen to you. Don't
check on the river. Couldn't donk. Obviously, the jack doesn't change enough about small blind's range. And therefore, Nalepo takes an easy check back. Was just betting that turn just to buy themselves a river check. And D-Jazz, though, moves up to 3.1 million, which is certainly not insignificant.
Yeah, everything's gone their way at the final table so far, which is nice for them.
Very good at being dealt ace king, I must say.
Yeah, well, that's the skill, isn't it?
Yeah, that is the skill part.
Use your skill to get to the final table, then get dealt ace king.
Exactly.
So there was a $15,000 bounty in this event.
Wow.
Absolutely sick. $15,000. It was won by Quinge 2012. Is that a euphemism?
Quinge.
Sounds like it. Yeah. Quinghe. Quinge, well done. They finished 58th in the tournament and yet walk away with a huge amount of the money. Incredible.
That's the way it goes in some of these mystery bounties. And you may be forgiven, guys, for thinking a 15k bounty tournament. That sounds massive. There's no way there's bigger bounties available in this schedule. Well, there is. There's a $1 million guaranteed mystery bounty main event. And I don't want to jump the gun on it, but I believe it's somewhere in the region of 30 to 50k or something ridiculous. It's certainly at least twice as big as the biggest bounty of this tournament. So just an opening tease, this one, if you could believe it.
Absolutely.
Oh dear. Sly, 10 bigs.
Unlucky Sly.
Well, it's not over
Nothing
yet.
wrong with this.
Certainly not. It looks pretty over to me, though, and we could be over on the turn. The three of spades knocks out Sly. Did manage to find one more cheeky little ladder, which Nick will tell you how much that was worth. But Cosmo now is our new chip leader.
Yeah, that ladder was worth $900. $3,400 for fifth. That's pretty good going on the ladder front.
Yeah, for just lasting a little bit longer than Golden Gaze. Getting cooled out of the tournament just a little bit later. Although Queen Jack off, probably just about on the line of cuspiness. And now, Hodor with 13 big blinds started the table probably better than anyone, winning that all in off of Nalepo. Dicey little spot. But now, the shortest stack and hovering around the area where you're going to see a lot of 3-bet shoves, and pretty much every hand that you enter could be a last.
Nick, Poker Pro would like to know, are you going to be playing the £1 million Mystery Bounty main event for the XL Winter Series?
I think I will. I'm just not sure exactly when I'm going to do it, because I'm doing Blast Off tomorrow. Blast Off tomorrow, and then I'm off to Portsmouth on Thursday morning for UKPL, and then I'm back from Portsmouth on Monday. So I might be able to squeeze a little flight in somewhere. Otherwise, I'll be playing Monday tired when I get back. But I wouldn't worry, guys. I probably won't be playing it for longer than 30 minutes or so. So I could definitely squeeze that in somewhere.
Yeah, if you get a chance to join us in Portsmouth, what is the date on that? Next week?
It's already started, actually. Ian Simpson hasn't had enough. He's already there.
He's already there. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you get a chance to join us there, or in Glasgow in March for our first ever visit to Glasgow. Very excited about that.
Yeah, that should be a real cracking event. Our two biggest stacks. Yeah. Battling out here, but Nalepo decidedly on top right now. A jack would have changed that, but the turn is a 9. Nalepo's hand gets stronger, but he may be concerned about a 9. Won't be concerned once Cosmo pitches this King 10 off on the turn. Board just a little bit too paired and flushy. Not enough going on for Cosmo to hang on. And still, four-handed already. Only 40 minutes into this final table this evening.
Yeah, it's been fast.
Yeah.
Especially when you've commentated on live for a while.
Feels like absolute lightning when you've been. Yeah, this is not what I understand poker to be anymore. I've just been molded by Madrid. My expectations are completely warped.
I think it's hard the other way around, isn't it? From a playing point of view, if you play online a decent amount, then you go and play live. I think
true.
I've always found that hard.
Certainly tests your patience a bit.
Yeah, so much slower. You've got to get into a different mindset, really.
Yeah, absolutely. D-Jazz in the small blind. Going to go for limp, which I think is pretty good. Obviously, with Hoda out with less than 10 bigs now, as our blinds go up to 61-20. Doesn't want to get entangled if they can help it. But this hand is too good to fold to the raise from Aleppo. Unfortunately, D-Jazz probably going to have a check fold here, even though the 7 of hearts is out there. Ooh, check back from Aleppo, who I was expecting to see bet from. And now the 9 of clubs give D-Jazz the best hand. Probably going to see check. And Aleppo, I imagine, after starting with check on flop, will check back the turn.
Aleppo did do a delayed c-bet before. They do it again. Yeah, they've got a little tendency for that.
Yeah, interesting. You picked that up well there, Nick. 2/3 pot. Very strange. Almost like, you know, if you're going to do this on the turn and bet so large, maybe just betting the flop seems best, but maybe they want to hear some more information in the form of a check before they do so, and expecting that maybe 2 checks means something like a 7. Obviously on the 7 river, Aleppo's odds of bluffing are probably drastically reduced. And obviously you can be winning against some random Jack 10 or flush draw. Chip lead passes once more. And we've got 3 stacks, all very, very large now.
What you said is right. If you're going to make that play, you're better off betting small on the turn because they're going to fold out all their garbage. And then you can bet bigger on the river if you want to bluff. But anyway, interesting spot.
Yeah, certainly. I'm not necessarily a fan of the bet, but like it certainly will knock out some hands that have okay equity against Aleppo's hand, so it can't be awful.
Hi to Silicon, Piano Cat, 0 to 1K. Good to see you. Nargiza, how are you? Good to see you. Say hi if you're in the chat. Thank you so much for finding us tonight. We do really appreciate you watching. Hope you're enjoying the stream and the final table. We'll be here until we have a champion tonight. And then every night this week, 8 o'clock, there's content on this stream, including tomorrow. You can watch Easty, my co-commentator tonight, battle against Josh Manley Poker. And then from Thursday, live stream of the UKPL from Portsmouth, where Nick will be playing. 888 Madrid main event champion Ian Simpson will be playing. Lots of good stuff. Hi, Scuddy. Hi, Budgie. Hi, Tower. Good to see you all. All in.
Yeah, all in from the deuces. Hoda was getting pretty shallow, and only a deuce on the river would save them. But Aleppo finds an unnecessary queen, and we are down to 3 before our first break. We've even got 12 more minutes to see if we can knock someone else off. And another large bounty being won. It has been fast. You just said playing down to a champion, and it made me shudder remembering how long that took last time we said that.
Yeah.
Shouldn't take that long.
You never know.
You do not ever know with this game. It's true.
And it was quite strange in the Madrid final table, because usually when you get a really long, final table or last few players, it's usually because more than one player is playing sort of nitty.
Yeah.
Or tight or whatever. That wasn't the case. It was it was violent and aggressive and really great to watch. Just people didn't bust.
Yeah, they didn't bust because everyone was doing such a good job of keeping themselves alive and fighting and winning and parts. I mean, especially Murciano was just unbelievable. Never had a damn thing, Nick, but still managed to keep themselves floating as long as possible all the way to second place. Unbelievable stuff. We're going to get a little cheeky value bet here from Aleppo, but no juice out of Cosmo.
Interesting, this, isn't it? We've got, 30 big blind stacks, 230 big blind stacks and 140 big blind stacks. So up for grabs. We'll see who can stay the most aggressive, who can play the best here.
Yeah. I mean, I think Aleppo started obviously in the lead and has conducted themselves rather aggressively. It's taken most spots that have been offered to them. probably hard to get out of that mentality of I'm the chip leader, I can do what I like. But we're obviously very, very close together now, and everyone will have their eyes on heads up match as soon as they can. Get that maximum amount of laddering before playing for the lot.
Haven't really had time to do this, but just a word on a couple of these players. Nalepo is on an incredible run. They've won the last 5 final tables they've been to on 888.
Wow.
Their latest one was a PKO Rumble 109 when they finished first to come over $2,000. So they know their way around a final table, Nick, which is a massive advantage.
Yeah, it makes me wonder whether I should be questioning any of their plays whatsoever. To be honest with you, we saw that deuce shove earlier, which seemed really, erratic, but at the same time, Nalepo with tremendous amounts of experience on online final tables on this site specifically. So, clearly knows exactly what they're doing, how much pressure people are willing to be put under, what kind of things work better than others. And, again, probably a favorite to take this one down as well, although we do see Nalepo picking up a 9 on this turn, which we know is not good. Djaz with 2 pair of their own. Queen 4-7 on the flop, and I don't think Nalepo can fold this 9 turn. 8 on the river could potentially slow Djaz down, but I think blind versus blind, this is just still way too strong to do anything but bet. And Nalepo will have a slightly interesting spot where almost every option will be available to them versus 2/3 pot. Could even consider shoving, blocking multiple 2-pair / set hands and also a straight, but does this decide to let this one go? Obviously, calling is also an option. Very interesting one there. But that didn't take too long.
Interesting shout by you to shove. Not that was your shout, just interesting option.
Yeah. I mean, generally speaking,
the exact hand they had, right?
Yeah, just a lot of removal to the very best hands that Djaz can have. Certainly a popular spot to shove, but also trying to get players to fold probably strong hands is kind of not the best way generally to go about things. People don't like to fold strong hands if they can help it. So Nalepo probably thinking after 3 barrels might be a bit dicey to go ahead and jam it in there, especially when Djaz is also uncapped themselves. Ooh, Cosmo stepping out here with a check raise that's absolutely not going to work, but it could do by the river unless we see another blue one, Nick.
Yeah, a bit of spice. From Cosmo. You don't get many chances when you're 3-handed at the end of the tournament to make these kinds of plays. Now, how much do they want to follow through here? That's the question.
It's certainly got to be tempting. I mean, it's going to be pretty hard to win this pot unless they continue barreling here. And they do have a strong diamond that blocks a lot of Djaz's main flushes. Djaz can't fold the turn, but if they call here and the river breaks out, Cosmo's jam very, very credibly is going to get through a lot of the time, but the river's a diamond, and now Cosmo may believe they can have the best hand a significant amount of the time. Having said that, Djaz has called the flop and then called a turn.
Cosmo's really unlucky that Djaz has the ace of diamonds here. Obviously unlucky to lose the hand, but unlucky that their bluff didn't work as well, I think.
Yeah, I wonder. Yeah, because if the river breaks out, I definitely expect Cosmo to shove. The problem is with this river, even though you do have the jack of diamonds, Djaz has so much ace-x with the ace of diamonds in it. Ace-jack with the ace of diamonds, ace-10, ace-king. So many ace of diamonds hands that bet call flop and then call turn.
This is hard to fold though, isn't it?
Oh, it's super rough. I think Djaz represents this hand really strongly.
Left in your stack and you've got the 3rd nuts. It's hard.
It's hard, but then again, what's Djaz bluffing with here? Bet, call, flop, call, turn. You'd have to turn something like ace-king off without a diamond into a bluff here, and I'm just not sure how likely that is. What kind of hands would you expect to take this line and arrive and be able to bluff? And when the bluffing options are really unimaginable.
That is a stellar fold.
It's a good fold, but
that's a good fold at a final table for less than a pot size bet. It's a good fold.
I think it's a good fold, but also it's one of those spots where you don't beat value and the bluffs are just really hard to see where they're coming from.
I wouldn't trust somebody not to be shoving a worse diamond. That's the problem.
Try 2/3 pot shove. I don't think you can shove a worse diamond than a jack, especially when the 10's out there.
You're not hearing me. I don't think you can either. I wouldn't trust somebody not to, is my point.
Oh, right. Okay.
You see what I mean?
I don't know. Djaz hasn't really been out of line. They do have the massive chip lead now, though.
They do.
very, very fortunate river. I do believe what we would have seen on the 3 of spades, for example, would be Cosmo shoving, Djaz folding, and then Cosmo would have the chip lead. I think that would have been a fantastic line, especially with, like I said, a lot of ace of diamonds in Djaz's range that just has to fold the river, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think you've broken it down really well, and you can see where a fold is coming from. I just think it still deserves credit because
sure,
you're
absolutely.
under pressure at a final table, online final table. You don't have much time. It's so easy to call and hope, you know. Well done to them. Well done to Cosmo for thinking clearly.
Yeah, I agree with you. A jack would be interesting here. Would give Djaz a straight, but Nalepo a full house. Not many left, though. And that's another thing, Nick. Where's my amount of jacks left indicator? That was what I really enjoyed. How many of everything's left?
Yeah, how many of everything's left? The outs thing is cool, isn't it?
Yeah, I've been shortchanged.
We haven't got a live broadcast. Yeah.
I've gone from everyone doing everything for me and all the outs and percentages available and lots of time to talk about every hand. Yeah, exactly. I can't even ask for a fruit platter.
Have you instructed April? We'll see Nalepo take this one down. Have you instructed April to bring you a fruit platter during this broadcast?
2 issues with that. Haven't had time since I've been off the plane to go shopping, 1. Yeah. And 2, she's dead asleep. So not much use.
What kind of service is that? It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I'll be having words immediately afterwards, don't worry. Blind on blind here. Little bit of something for Djaz as they go for a bet. Picks up something else on the turn in the form of the 7 of diamonds, and now we could see large barrels and Nalepo's 9 start to be putting under some significant pressure potentially. Expecting bet. And I'm expecting big, and that's what we get. 420 here. Wouldn't even mind slightly larger. Nalepo very quickly hangs on, and this river is very unappetizing to bluff on for Djaz. Nothing's really changed. It's not very scary for Nalepo, and Nalepo taps it back and approaches the Djaz chip mark, both around 5 million, and Cosmo now lagging behind.
Yeah, Cosmo's we're playing the 140 blind level, so he's got 15 big blinds basically. So he's got a nice shoving stack.
Absolutely. I mean, the important question's being asked, where is the Hamon and Blueberry? I just don't know.
Joke, isn't it? Your life's got worse.
I mean, I've been downgraded.
Leo's absolutely right. Where is the Hamon and Blueberry?
Nonsense.
We were gods, Nick.
Just for a short time. We didn't know how good we had it, Nick.
No, we didn't.
Well, Cosmo is about to get a rippy doodad on here by the ace queen of Djaz. And here he is.
Djaz could be a suit.
He could. Yeah, the ace queen suited of Djaz.
It's kind of sparkly, probably purple, I think.
Well, non-suited here.
12 big blinds, yeah.
Yeah. So these blind on blind battles start to become a little bit interesting now that they both know that Cosmo is extremely short. It should disincentivize battling between the others, but you know, these players are here to win. They've come a long, long way now, and we know Nalepo pretty much doesn't do anything but win when he gets to a final table.
I know, scary record, one of his last 5 final tables. We are closing in on the break. Just to make sure you know where we're at, we've got a ton of tickets to give away. After the break, we're doing mega keyword. 6 chances to win $33. It is wow, Nick.
It's incredible.
It is. And then we've got 2 other ticket opportunities as well with Nick Thinks. And then we'll spin the wheel of Poker Justice with 2 $109 tickets up for grabs. If you don't know what I'm talking about, stick around to the end of the show. Once you've seen it, you'll want to be a part of it next week. That is going to be a ton of fun. Obviously, we'll see this to a conclusion as well. Just to make sure you're in the free roll. Make sure you're in the free roll. It started, but you've got about 10, 15 minutes left to register. So make sure you're in that. Queen 888 is the password. And that's all I've got.
You got nothing left. That's it. You're out of gas.
That's it. That's all my things.
Right. Okay.
All the admin.
Right. We need a break for Nick. Where's the break?
Break, flute platter, please. I'd like a
flute platter.
A couple of piccolos on the side, and of course a blueberry. Thanks.
We did talk about oboes. Was that with you or was that with Josh?
Yeah,
I think it was you.
I don't know what that was about, but you did talk about oboes at one point.
Well, I think once you start to get into your 30th hour of the week of streaming, you tend to go off on a few tangents.
It's true. But this is now hour 31. You haven't lost a step. Analysing like a demon. It's awesome.
I'm delirious at this point.
Doesn't matter. Just keep working.
The tank is being scraped for energy levels. Ace 3 defended here from Djaz, who flops the best hand, and Aleppo really not connecting with this in any significant manner. Going to probably see C-Bet, though, obviously favouring the original Razor, you would have thought. Very quick play, Nick. It's almost like they know that we've got nothing left to give.
Yeah, it has been very rapid. No respect for the money. These three players have got $6,200 locked up, I should mention. There's a difference between first and third of $5,500.
Wow, Aleppo just stepping out with the bare gut shot, no club here. Just cranking up the pressure on what he will hope would be some sort of Jack X or weaker pair, maybe like a King 10 off with no club type hand. We are going to see call, and that river is fairly bricky. Aleppo with horrible removal is going to snap check it back, not even think about bluffing this one. Just assumes that this river is going to be underfolded, and I believe that will take us through to a break.
Djaz, it's the break with the chip lead, and we will hit the break, and we'll be back in 5 minutes and 54 seconds. 53, 52. That's it.
Today we are going to talk about overbets and no limit hold'em. They are a powerful tool that you can use to punish your opponents, both to get value and as a bluff. How and when to use them is an important skill to master if you want to be a great poker player. I'm Ian Simpson, and this video will help you apply overbetting at the tables. The scenario. In the following scenario, the button opens and the big blind calls. The flop is King of Clubs, 5 of Hearts, 4 of Hearts. The big blind checks, the button bets, and the big blind calls. The turn is the Jack of Spades, and it's a blank card for our opponent because it doesn't really help the big blind's range all that much. The big blind therefore checks, and the button has a decision point. This exact scenario is one where the GTO line involves betting the turn with a sizing that is bigger than the pot. So let's take a look at the ranges here. Breaking down our range. This is where we need to break our range down into 3 categories. We have very strong hands like aces, ace king, king jack, pocket fives. We have mid-strength hands with showdown value like pocket sevens, ace 5, 10 jack suited. Our mid-strength hands are happy to control the size of the pot. We don't want to bet again because a hand like pocket sevens is going to struggle to get a better hand to call because hands like 5-6 are often folding. Our opponent will rarely fold a better hand than pocket sevens here, so if betting doesn't get a worse hand to call or a better hand to fold, we don't bet. Now, here's where overbetting comes in. Our very strong hands want to go big for value. We know something about our opponent's range given the previous streets of action. When they call a flop bet, we narrow their range down to flush draws, straight draws, some ace-high hands, and pairs. They sometimes have 2 pair in sets, but they'll often check raise those on the flop. Against this range, our very strong hands can bet big for value. Pocket aces, pocket fives, king 5 suited and the like are doing very well against this range, and they want to shovel money in. They'll have to continue with their draws and their top pairs because remember, we're going to be doing this with bluffs here too, and they'll even continue with some weaker holdings as well. Using an overbet with these hands maximizes the value we can get out of them. Now that leaves our last category of hands that are worse than 1 pair. Some of these we're going to use to bluff. A hand like 10-7 of diamonds can overbet bluff here. Our opponent will be forced to fold ace-high hands and many of their weak 4x and 5x hands. We can also use flush draws like ace-6 of hearts and straight draws like queen 10 offsuit. Using an overbet with these hands maximizes our fold equity versus their mid-strength hands. Don't overdo it. The trick is to not overdo it here, because if we bluffed all of our flush draws and all of our straight draws and all of our junk hands, there will be 2 consequences. First of all, our betting range would be too weak. letting our opponent's bluff catches be very profitable. Secondly, our checking back range wouldn't have any flush draws or straight draws in it, so we couldn't have the nuts on a heart or a straightening river. Now when we bet, exactly what size should we use? Geometric sizing explained. You might have seen the phrase 2E or 3E in poker parlance before. The E stands for equal, and the number is how many bets are going to be made in order to be all in. In the example I just talked about, we're going to use 2E, or 2 equal bets, one on the turn and one on the river, so that we are all in with the last bet. In this exact example, the pot was 930 by the time we got to the turn. The exact maths to calculate 2E can be a little bit tricky to do on the fly, so don't worry too much about having used the exact right size. In game, I bet 1200, making the pot 3,330 and leaving me an overbet of 3,800 behind. If you can do the maths perfectly on the fly, then good for you, but estimating it is just fine. The river overbet jam. Our opponent called our turn overbet, and the river card is the Jack of Hearts. Our opponent checks, and we have another overbet opportunity left to us here, both for value and as a bluff. Our full houses, our flushes, and pocket aces make for great value bets, and having used 2E from the turn onwards allows us to get all the money in versus their weaker hands in 2 equal bets. Our bluffs are mainly going to come from hands like Queen 10 offsuit and Queen 9 offsuit with a heart. If we bluffed all of our hands that didn't improve and didn't have a heart blocker, we would end up bluffing too much again, making our opponent's bluff catches very profitable. As you can see, overbetting is a very powerful tool. When used correctly, it can both help you get max value with your best hands and get maximum fold equity with your bluffs. What part of overbetting do you struggle with? Let us know in the comments below.
If you've ever struggled to calculate your equity or pot odds in a hand, you'll likely need to brush up on your poker math skills. That doesn't mean you need to be a genius or make complex calculations, but learning some fundamental calculations will give you an edge over your opponents. I'm Aaron Baroni, and in this video, I'm going to share 5 poker math principles you should know. Rule of 4 and 2. One of the most important poker math calculations is knowing how to figure out your equity in a hand. This is where the rule of 4 and 2 comes into play. All you need to do is...
Welcome back.
Oh, dear.
Straight into the action, three-handed. Look at this cooler, Nick.
Well, it didn't take long. This is an all-in and a call. And we're off to the races. Jacks against ace, queen. Queen on the flop brings Cosmo right back in the mix, unless the river's a jack, and it's not. And now Cosmo... absolutely perfect start to the second phase of this final table.
Yeah, what he needed, like you said, back in the mix for him or her, them.
Yeah.
Nicely done. Welcome back, everybody. Good to see you. I hope you're having fun watching the stream and playing the free roll. You can still get in if you're quick. Queen 888. We're going to give away a ton of tickets after this hand. We're going to do
Mega
keyword giveaway.
The first ever
mega keyword. They gave us too many tickets. Me and Nick are feeling a bit jet lagged. It's an hour difference, but so we're going to give them all away in one go. Lime wants to do it. We want to do it. It's going to be cool. Yeah. So keyword giveaway, easiest way that you can win. If you're watching this on YouTube, you need to come over to Twitch. You need to come over to 888 Poker TV on Twitch. All in from Cosmo. It looks like it's going to work.
Yeah, we'll work. This Jack 4 off from DJazz. We spoke about this a lot in Madrid because everyone was up to it. When you see limp and you're blind versus blind, those really crappy hands become really good raises, because when you do get shoved on, you just don't care, apart from the fact that you lose your raise, because it's so bad. You're not wasting any equity because your hand doesn't really have any.
Yes, actual full-on bluff.
Yeah, exactly.
Bluff with air. Okay, we're going to get relentless action. I'm going to plow ahead with the competition. If this turns into anything...
I've got you back. It's okay.
Yeah, nice. So if you're watching on YouTube, you need to come over to Twitch just for this contest, because the software runs on Twitch. All you do is type in the keyword once it's revealed. Lime is the keyword ready. Just checking if the keywords...
I'd recommend, guys, coming over from YouTube if you are there, because pretty much everyone's going to win here.
Yeah, true story.
Disclaimer, only 6 people are going to win, but it's just going to feel like everybody.
Right. Lime says, yes, Mayor of Ticket Town. The keyword is Pocket Nicks. The keyword is Pocket Nicks. Poker's newest, most exciting, sexually attractive commentary team. Pocket Nicks is the keyword. Just copy what everyone else is doing if you're not sure what I'm saying. Type it in. Lime will give you a couple of minutes to do that, and then we'll run it, and 6 people are going to win $33 tickets. Good luck.
Yeah, just a little shaving off the top of Cosmo's stack there. Was going very well. Still going better than it was, but unfortunately lost a fair fight. 10-9 versus 8, blind versus blind there. 10-4 offsuit's pretty rubbish, and I'm not surprised to see DJaz just let that one go versus open. Look at all those pocket nicks.
Just fills the heart with something.
Yeah, certainly does.
A lot of pocket nicks.
It's a shame only 6 people will be winning.
Yeah, when you said everyone's going to win, I feel like...
yeah, no. It's not looking good for everyone, is it? But
No.
6 people will win. You know, that's like... What more can we do? We can't do more than that.
No one can say we haven't done our best for these people.
We've tried. We haven't calmed down yet from Madrid. There's been no calming down at all.
Madrid, where we gave away, I think, something like 70 tickets.
Literally.
Pretty cool.
Well, a little bit of a fight on here. Cosmo could have taken a different path here, and we'll be happy they didn't, because top pair and crushing the range of Nalepo here. Queen deuce of diamonds, not close to this board, and continues to whiff. Nalepo plays rapidly, Nick. Barely thinks about these things, just snapping everything. And look, bang, I mean, that one's understandable, but always seems to know exactly what they're doing, and not surprised how much experience they have on these final tables.
Right. Move to the edge of your seats.
Nick, what do I do if I was already there?
Time for Magic Monday history, the biggest keyword giveaway probably of all time. Disclaimer, I've got no idea. Let's roll it. 6 winners incoming. Here we go. PVD 2015, come on down. You are our first winner. Nick, we'll alternate. Let's alternate. Otherwise, you'll get bored.
Alternating. Yeah, I'll fall asleep.
Exactly. PVD, you've won. Make sure your whispers are open.
Daniela Poor, come on down. You've won a $33 ticket.
Nice work, Daniela. You're a winner. Let's have another one. It's relentless. There's probably some poker going on. We'll stop.
No, there isn't. I've checked. Don't worry about it.
Halil 55, you have won the giveaway. Here's to you, Halil. Well done. 3 down, 3 more to go.
Wow. There is some bluffing going on, by the way, and it's going to work. Congratulations to the Crazy Scotsman 17 back in the mix. A very regular watcher of the Madrid stream. Thank you, son. Appreciate it. Congratulations.
Yeah, appreciate the support. Well done to you. 2 more chances to win. Is it going to be you? It is, if your name is Jagesta. Jagesta, you are our 5th winner. Congratulations to you. You also win a $33 ticket. 1 more chance to dance for everybody.
And the last one is Happy Ray 71. Happy Ray 71, come on down. You've also won a $33 ticket, which means that everyone else hasn't. But there is still 1 more chance.
There is
in
still
the form
one
of
more
a Nick
chance.
Thinks.
2 more tickets. 2 more tickets to give away. And we're going to spin the wheel of Poker Justice after the show. Stick around for that. It's super fun. And you have to be in chat if you are going to win. Kings for Cosmo.
Yeah, Kings for Cosmo and an ace-9 offsuit for DJaz, who, well, it's a fairly strong hand, 3-handed. We saw just 2 players in Madrid battling heads up with 8 high for 2 hours. So, 3-handed ace-9 seems pretty strong, but they do let it go. And Cosmo moves into 2nd place and within an all-in of the chip lead.
That's how it goes. We can all remember when they were the 11 big blind short stack.
Yeah, just 5 or so minutes ago, we came back to Cosmo doubling up. And now Cosmo will be feeling pretty good. He would have felt anything's a bonus when you come back and you're the shortest and the other 2 seemingly destined for heads up. So
Cosmo's actually having an amazing 2025, even though 2025 hasn't been going for too long. They're in the top 3 in this big event. They actually hit a big milestone for them. They had their first 5K and 10K cash in the same tournament in January in the 100K. The 100K mystery bounty. They took home the 10K bounty. So
oh, wow.
They're having a great January.
Yeah, and to win those bounties, you don't even need to do particularly well. You have to get to a certain point, but
you have to be better than one person.
Yeah.
And then just make it the right person.
Exactly. How hard can that possibly be, guys?
Can't be that hard when you say it out loud, can
No,
it?
surely not. Anyway, we have a tournament here and a lot of play left in it. Anybody can win this one. Great flop for Nalepo. Not so good for Djaz, who starts with check with ace high. Nalepo could choose to take their equity to the turn, and they do, and realize that equity as well in the form of the 10 of hearts. Now I expect to see wagers being made by Nalepo. Djaz with not a lot of hope here, especially versus that sizing, and we'll let it go.
Yeah, that was a big bet.
Yeah, just missing, obviously, on the turn already. Not a lot more opportunity to create the value that your hand deserves. Couple of ducks here, blind on blind.
Yeah, playing 81.60 now, so we're a little bit shorter, but like you said, still a decent amount of play. You're absolutely right. It's because we got three-handed fast, didn't we, really?
Yeah, there's certainly a decent chunk left in this one. But, you know, it could go for half an hour, it could go for 3 hours. We just do not know, you know, passing money around so far. No advantage being secured just yet. Just Cosmo clawing themselves back in from the depths. And looking good, feeling confident, opening that 7-6 of spades. And big little, Nick. Little.
Ring the auto 3-bet bell.
Look, it's overdone, Nick. I've said it before and I'll say it again.
It's
the
certainly,
regs are
it's
overdoing
certainly
it.
happening a lot. I think
Yes.
we all agree.
It's almost every time I say it, they're coming out with it. But it's really good. It just is really good. Djaz extending a little lead now, almost two times as much as the rest of the pack.
That's big little again.
Big little. I didn't even say big little.
Still happened.
It did
Still
happen.
happened.
Don't even need to sound the alarms. It just happens.
Now, Lepo's got an interesting style. They definitely like bigger bets. So
Yes.
anytime they're betting probably a little bit bigger than I would say the conventional bet size would be.
I would certainly agree with you. And they're doing a lot of checking back and large turn betting in particular, I would say.
Agreed.
Cosmo whiffing. Big old whiff ball here as Djaz takes arguably closing on insurmountable lead in this one, and Cosmo will not be able to hang along here. Down to our shortest stack once more, but not cut adrift.
No. Very workable. 18 big blinds.
Absolutely. 6 deuce of clubs for Djaz, who elects to call. Suited hand, wants to see the flop. Interesting that the Nalepo decides to check back the ace-7. Certainly a hand that you could consider raising with. And 160k into potentially the ether here, as, I mean, it's really tough to be further away from this board as Djaz, and as a result, they are going to give it up.
It is.
Or are they? Yes, they are.
This board has nothing to do with my hand. Could you please adjust? No.
Yeah.
No.
I'm surprised not to see a block on the river from Djaz. It's not. You could certainly in check consider value betting a queen, which is arguably worth like 2/3 pot on the river in this line. I'm not sure. Maybe a
I
block.
honestly think Djaz just got up from the computer and went and did something else for a bit.
Yeah. He left a woodpecking like toy on the check thing and just went up and got a glass of water.
Exactly what happened. Yeah, I believe it.
So far, no huge battles, just a lot of small battles. And so far, that's not really gotten us anywhere, as everyone holding their own. And the ace deuce off versus the king 6, a typical hand to go ahead and raise up here. Does decide to check it back this time, and both players are going to whiff, although Djaz, king of spades, working for them.
Position.
Yeah, position as well, very strong.
Weakness into them.
Yeah, all these things are given the check mark by Nick Wellthought.
Might as well bet. Might as well bet again. What can go wrong?
Yeah, betting is good. We've seen that this weekend, raising and betting are very strong. It's so hard to have something in this game.
It is. And we especially saw that short-handed, didn't we? And we're seeing it again here. You know, you remember the coolers, but once you get 3 and 4-handed, you just, your hand distribution, you're just not dealing that many hands. So there's a lot of junk.
Yeah, in Madrid, it was almost like in the pre-flop dealing that we were removing the high cards from the deck and only allowing them to be coming back in on the flop. And no one cared anyway. They were just check raising 9 high. It's just extraordinary.
I mean, that's what you got to do if you're like, you know, if you're playing 3-handed poker. It's a game of aggression, isn't it? At that point, because people aren't making hands.
It's an odds game. Yeah. And it's up to your opponents to adjust to your aggression if you choose to do it. Oh, little Limpsky from Nalepo. I think this hand will check. Okay, then. Just the 4 jacks. Is that all?
It's quite hard to flop quads.
Yeah.
Them.
Well, that's it.
It's hard to have quads full stop, but flopping quads is a pretty rare bird. And they win the blinds.
And they do win the blinds. It's better than nothing. And obviously, when you go limp check, and it comes King Jack Jack and you have every jack in the deck, it's going to be hard for your opponent to have something to call with.
You know, you've got the deck crushed. I don't think I've ever flopped quads in Hold'em. Omaha, yes, but not Hold'em.
I have flopped quads multiple times. I'm very good at flopping quads. I don't get anything from. Yeah, I'm excellent at flopping quads.
I don't
Excellent.
remember ever doing it. I mean, maybe
I think it must have happened like 10, 15 times. Honestly, I've done it quite a few times in online cash games, but I think only once or twice that I've ever gotten anything out of it. Obviously, because there's nothing left to have.
No, you need to be playing in a jackpot game.
Yeah. I remember specifically one time because it was on my top 10 where I flopped quads against the full house. Like they had the other card boated up. So, oops. We don't talk about that one though. It's not good for the brand.
No.
And the narrative.
The narrative that you don't get coolers.
Yeah, exactly. Now Aleppo with the best hand here. Ace King. It's a shame. A little bit unfortunate that Cosmo couldn't find a way to win that pot, and now after all that hard work is at the very bottom and he's going to call this one off. Ace 8, strong hand, but open end straight roll for Nepal. They could still hit a queen or a 7 to knock them off, and doesn't. And now, just as I was saying that Cosmo might be getting a little bit desperate, they wake up with the Ace 8 offsuit, pick off a shove from Nalepo, and move straight back into the middle of the pack.
They barely thought about that shove, about that call rather.
Yeah. Well, he wouldn't.
He wouldn't. Huge for them though.
Yeah. Very big. Couple of 7s for our blinds here. The better one belonging to Cosmo. Again, goes for check, relinquishes the betting lead, but Queen High good enough for D-Jazz to see turn. See what Cosmo wants to do here. Both players seem content with their high card. We will see if anyone wants to volunteer. This is a strange bet because King High, you're after a Queen High call here, Nick, and he may well get one, you know. Hoping to think that maybe D-Jazz puts them on something like, you know, 9, 10, that's just trying to steal the chop. And they're going to get a call. What a sick value bet from Cosmo.
I love a thin value bet like that. That's really nice. Nice play by Cosmo. You're watching event number 1 of the XL Winter Series on 888. We'd love you to jump into the series going on right now. Lots of events, lots of different buy-in sizes, building towards the main event. It's a $2 million series with a $1 million main event. On Tuesday next week, we'll bring you the final table of that event. This final table is just Nalepo flopping the world but not winning. Let's see if we can win.
What do you do, Nalepo, to win so many final tables? Well, you know, the whole deck appears for me on the flop.
Exactly.
I wonder if Cosmo will play back here. It's been check raised, Nick. I mean, usually you wouldn't see they're going to float, by the way. And if Nalepo finds check here, it's brilliant. And they should. This is a terrible turn card for Nalepo's range. I would love to see check, punish all those floats from Cosmo.
Yeah, more likely to see a check because they've only got a pot size bet left. Oh, okay. I thought maybe because they could get it in any way, they might be more tempted to do it, but it doesn't happen.
I'd have drastically preferred a check there. I think you just have to let Cosmo do his thing on the king. And Aleppo can have so many draws.
Lime says Naleppo's in our chat. Hi, Naleppo. No spoilers, please. Well played. Whatever happens now, incredibly well played to get to the top 3 of this.
Yeah, good stuff, Aleppo. Well played.
We've got more tickets to give away, Nick.
We do.
Have you got a question for me?
I do.
Nice. We'll do it after this hand.
Okay.
Get ready in YouTube chat and Twitch chat. You can enter in either chat. 2 $33 tickets left to win. Absolutely.
Aleppo, again the aggressor, and again picking it off. Didn't even have quads that time, Nick.
He probably was going to turn and river a straight flop somehow. I don't know how, but I think he was going to, definitely.
I'd say that's fair. We're going to see a flop here, and it's going to be a 10 high one as Cosmo again pipped by Naleppo. Button versus big blind. Not quite as pipped as last time when Naleppo flopped a boat, but he's going to go for bet. Not traditional, because obviously ace-jack, you don't want to waste the equity by getting check-raised by an aggressive player, but understandable to see bet. I believe now on this turn card, which drastically favors Cosmo, they'll be barreling, and they do. But Naleppo with a pair of 10s, short-handed, can't go anywhere just yet, and Rivers trips.
Wow.
And it's a better card for Naleppo. It could produce donks, Nick, because obviously Cosmo bets the turn, which is not something you do very often if you had a 10. Therefore, Naleppo is going to find donk. And Cosmo now with just ace high. I do like this a lot from Naleppo. Very dialed in. Cosmo wondering whether some sort of flush draw could just be nipping in there to try and take it away on a card that favors the big blind so much. I wonder if ace high could be good enough to just steal this pot, especially getting a great price as well. 1/3 pot to call. Cosmo down to the last 5 seconds here as he dwells on this one. Not long left to make a decision, and does come up with the right one. Folds it.
Yeah. Well played by them. Well played by both. Leo Gygax says, how many more Liverpool stats are there to talk about? Let's find out as we play Nick Thinks with Nick asking the question. This is what we played earlier. If you weren't here earlier, very, very easy to play. One guess per player. One guess per player. You are trying to guess. Naleppo flops 2 pairs. This is bizarre.
Unbelievable.
Bizarre run of hands. You are trying to guess what Nick Eastwood... No, other way around, we've done that. What I will answer to Nick Eastwood's question. So Nick's going to ask me a question. I'm going to answer. You're trying to guess what I will answer. One guess per player. 2 tickets.
Oh dear.
One. All in and
a call, Nick. And definitely a call. Oh, the spades covered here. But a 10 on the turn. Still chances with the queen or ace or king. But it's none of them. And Cosmo finds a way again.
Right. Wriggling free of the noose. Amazing.
Oh, that flop was not looking good, but Cosmo finds one of the remaining outs and gets there.
Naleppo sat on the sidelines for that one.
Yeah.
Should have been a heads up.
Jesus, this distribution for Naleppo, 3-handed. Unbelievable. Just always has a really good hand.
Run like this. Let's just see these hands. Okay, I think we're going to get a slight breathing space. Nick, ask me a question. Chat, please go ahead and guess. One guess per player. What's the question? I'm too upset to the Liverpool question. We've just conceded a 10-man Lille at home, so I'm not doing it. I've refused. Okay. That's fair. Punish them. Yeah. So there's only other one type of question to ask, and that's tapas-related questions. I'm still feeling tapasy. Yeah. How many plates of tapas were ordered by the 888 Poker team in Madrid? What's the 888 Poker team? Anyone associated with the 888 Poker squad. So ambassadors, stream team, commentators. Commentators, media, management. Everyone that was there as a result of the fact that we were going to do a tournament. I have no idea. That's fine. I don't even know some of their names. Well, the names aren't relevant. You just need a head count, a kind of head count. Yeah, which I don't really have. But let me, including technical crew. Yes. Oh God. Good luck, chat, because I don't have a clue. That's fine. The good thing is, whatever you say, you're just right. Yeah.
if you have already won, guys, you can't win again, but you can play.
I don't know if the casino menu counts as tapas, does it?
It has to be a dedicated tapas item, you know?
Okay. I don't know why I work this out. It's impossible.
Yeah, I think you should just wing this one.
Yeah.
Chicken wing.
I can't wing it because people are guessing. It's important, Nick, all right?
I understand.
There's real life tickets at stake here.
It's okay.
Average of 5 days. 2 meals, that's 180 meals.
Ooh. D-Jazz. Excuse me, Nick. There's a poker tournament going on.
Fire at will.
And here we are. Queen 8 for D-Jazz. Pretty good hand. I mean, I don't understand. Nick, we just watched 3 men have nothing for 4 hours in Madrid. And now everyone's got 2 pair. It's very strange.
Yeah. There's definitely a tremendous amount of variance in poker. That's what I've learned over the last couple of days.
Yeah. Ridiculous. D-Jazz now with 10s. Another extremely good hand. Then Aleppo with Queen 4 off. Probably just a little bit too good to raise, but is going to go for another aggressive play. And here comes D-Jazz, going to jam. Perfect stuff. Both players playing this one about as how you would expect. Especially with Aleppo's aggression.
The final 3 players for sure. They've again,
really
the
strong.
second time we've been watching a final table battle, right?
Yeah, we are being treated to some proper poker, Nick, in the last week, which is good because when you're going to be streaming for as long as we have, you want to see some stuff going on.
You do. You want to see some battles. You want to see some semi-bluff raises and that kind of thing. Some sexy stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. So another little blind on blind battle here, as we saw so many of over the weekend. So I feel like I'm getting more of a handle on it, Nick, of what people are doing blind on blind. I'm looking forward to going to Portsmouth and just like dusting it all off in the weirdest blind on blind spot ever. It's like, yeah, I saw Ian do this. I'm sure it's fun.
I know what to do now. I just raise with 4 high, and then no matter what comes, I barrel, and then
just bet call the flop with 10 high and bet the turn and win. Yeah, it's easy game. Anyway, pair on pair action here, which is always a recipe for disaster blind on blind, and D-Jazz clearly going to be continuing here with his 7. How much more will they lose, or will they find a way on the river? They do, Nick. It's almost like I saw it coming as the king rolls off, and now Cosmo is not a fan. Do they still want a value bet? It would be fairly reasonable. D-Jazz certainly will, without a shadow of a doubt, be busting out somewhere in the region of 2/3 pot here, and Cosmo will be in a horror spot because it's just so dry and there's an overcard in the river. You'd expect your opponent to be trying to prize this pot away from you. Maybe you got something like Jack 10, which obviously would snap fold, and your opponent could be bluffing something like 5-4 or 5-6. And a pair of 9s blind on blind is such a strong hand when everything's missed. Cosmo with only 1 second to act, though, does flick it in.
Cool.
And now pretty much... Yeah, I think it's got to be okay. And I mean, Cosmo has been battling as hard as they can, but every time they play a pot with somebody, they just have the entire deck in their hand, and that's really hard to navigate.
It is hard. Cosmo now down to less than 10 big blinds. They effectively move in, but not quite, and win that one.
Yeah.
The contest is closed, by the way. The contest is closed. Thank you very much for entering. We'll have winners in a little bit, and don't forget we've got the Poker Wheel of Justice after this.
We're all in. I think we're all in, Nick. King Jack offsuit is, I would say, in fairly rough shape.
We are all in. Horrible shape.
Yeah, Cosmo did not run well after that flip. No
more running cards.
Don't be silly. Don't be silly. Last king in the deck, though.
There that is. Really well played, Cosmo. Battled really, really well. Just kept running into hands, and that's the way it goes sometimes. They had a bounty on their head. It was 91 cents. It was $44.91. And we're heads up, Nick Eastwood.
We are heads up. So, I mean, Aleppo will just assume that the money will end up in their lap, because that's invariably what happens when Aleppo is heads up in a tournament. He wins.
Going for their 6th final table win in a row, which is crazy.
It's nonsense. It really is ridiculous.
the run of a lifetime at final tables.
Yeah. But Djaz with advantage, Nick. And this board, nowhere near Nalepo, other than the fact that 8 is sandwiched between their 2 cards. Djaz going to bet, and that should do it for this one. But it's dangerous to assume things heads up, because as we've seen, Nick, over the past weekend, you have to just do stuff with absolutely nothing.
Have to battle for the money in the middle heads up. You have to.
Yeah.
And we've got a couple of good players here, and they know that.
Yeah, we've seen this as well, like floating the flop with complete breeze to take it away on the turn over and over again. And Nalepo finds a way with 9 high, no backdoor, apart from a dodgy straight draw, and just takes it away from Djaz.
Yeah, it's nice stuff from Nalepo. Nice stuff.
Yeah,
Djaz
now
has the chip lead, but it's going to be a tough road for them to actually win this against this player.
yeah, I mean, Nalepo just always has top pair as well. And pair on pair action here. And heads up, when you've got a pair, it's really tough to do anything but put money in. Nalepo's going to do exactly that, and Djaz is going to have to call. And the chip lead goes over to Nalepo.
Yeah, that didn't take long. Change of leader. Pretty close. 6.6 plays 5.8. Oh, deal hands.
We are talking between our 2 players, and we will let you know if anything happens. So far, we're not sure, but they're chatting, and they're very close in chip stack. Neither of them fancied a high variance spot for thousands of dollars, Nick. That was not the case in Madrid, which is why we went on so long. Ian Simpson refused every deal they were offered, and we do have a deal.
Green hands. What does green hands mean, Nick?
It means we have a deal, and you like gardening.
Yes. So they're going to take their money and bury it outside something.
Yes.
They've made a deal. Usually, we don't know the details, but usually they take off a decent amount of the difference between the 2 and play for a little bit of money in the title. There was $3,000 between first and second. It'll be less than that now. And Djaz is going to shove.
Yeah, maybe they're just if this goes in, it means they've left nothing up top. It means they just But I would have thought, Nick, Nalepo's won 5 in a row. You want to go for 6.
Plus, it's a cool title to have. It's hard to win one of these XL Winter Series events.
Oh, it's super difficult.
It's not an everyday weekly tournament or anything.
No, I mean, I still imagine like that it's a bit superfluous. You know, it won't matter. It depends on the nature of the deal that we don't obviously know.
No, yeah, Ping Zeppelin, you're right. They might have gone 50-50 and be playing for the bounties and the title. They might have done.
Yeah, I mean, it's still money. You know, we can't split the bounties, can we? So the bounties must be won.
Yeah.
So it's non-zero amounts of money. They'd be silly to just flick it in and you know, start doing silly stuff. I mean, Nalepo just invariably has top pair anyway. So I imagine 4 high, I guess we'll fold. And we're quite even here. We do have a deal, guys. We do have a deal. And we shall see if that accelerates proceedings or whether we battle for 2 hours for a couple of $100. Who knows?
There speaks a man scarred by a recent stream experience.
Yeah, absolutely.
You definitely can't ever count your chickens. Crazy Scotland says, what does the title give you? Just bragging rights, not like you get a bracelet. What's wrong with just bragging rights?
Yeah, bragging rights. I've been living off them my whole life.
I absolutely love it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Djaz is going to not ship it. That was a bluff.
No, they're both very happy. They're obviously emojiing everywhere. Most of the money's been played for.
Lots of emojis is definitely a tell.
Yeah.
You've just won 10 bags.
Yeah, exactly. Both players are very pleased with their results. And Djaz is treating himself to a little float, as often is the case, heads up, and turns the best hand, but flush draw for Nalepo, who turns a lot of equity here and goes for barrel and doesn't get there. And Djaz really does in the form of 2 pair, but Nalepo again shuts it down on the river. So Nalepo's winning streak in danger, Nick.
It is. I mean, they probably won't care that much.
They're good with the money. And I think we may well be all in here. And Aleppo's
Might be off to the races for sure.
Probably going to shove. And D-Jazz with King Jack offsuit heads up at this blind level. Probably calls with a deal already made.
Yeah, I think the deal will sway them hugely here.
Yeah, we shall see. D-Jazz may be looking to go off and celebrate.
They might be celebrating. Come back. You got to press call. They do. They hit the king. This is nearly over.
They do hit the king, and only a 5 would save Naleppo's run of 5 in a row, and it is over. D-Jazz takes down this tournament.
Nicely done, D-Jazz. Well played to both. Naleppo, especially incredible run of final tables. They basically split the prize, but D-Jazz is your champion. Will get the last 2 bounties, one of which is a $300 bounty. Sweet.
Yeah, so that's why we saw some fairly normal play, I imagine, in the last stages.
Yeah, absolutely. There was about $20,000 between first and second, so both of them have done fantastically well. Speaking of doing fantastically well, let's have some winners.
Yes, please.
We're going to give 2 winners, and then we're going to spin the wheel of Poker Justice. So our work here is not done, Nicky.
Goodness
what question
me.
did you ask me again?
I asked you how many plates of tapas were ordered by the A-State poker team in Madrid.
Okay, well, I did do some working out. I reckon there were 18 people in the 888 poker team. Mm-hmm. I reckon they were there for an average of 5 days. Breakfast doesn't count because that's not tapas.
No.
So you've got lunch and dinner. 18 times 5 is 90 meals because I reckon you only have one meal where it's an actual tapas meal. The rest of the time you're grabbing a sandwich or something like that.
Sure.
Average per person, 4.5 tapas plates makes the correct answer 410 tapas dishes.
Fantastic answer. Look at the commitment to answering these questions, guys. It really is taken extremely seriously.
It's the most serious thing I do all week.
Yeah, absolutely. So
Who
410.
won,
Well, I don't want to get it wrong because I announced the wrong winner once, didn't I? But we have 2 winners.
Yes.
Nautic, who guessed 431.
Nicely done.
Nautic. And Takeaway Food, answering about a food question.
Takeaway food wins the tapas question.
Yeah.
True story. 414 was their guess. Well done to them. It's not over. We've got the most exciting 2 minutes of poker media entertainment coming your way right now. Move to the edge of your seat. If you don't know what I'm talking about, stay tuned because you will never forget it and you'll never want to miss it. This is the Poker Wheel of Justice. By redeeming 4,000 Twitch points, you can get your name on the wheel. So this week, redeem 4,000 Twitch points with us and your name will be on this wheel and we'll spin to win for a $109 ticket. Huge tickets.
That is big.
It's big. You must be in the chat. This is the catch. You must be in the chat to claim your prize. As you can see, literally everyone that's ever played poker is on this wheel.
Well, it's $109. You can't blame them.
That is crowded. Let's do it. Spin the wheel.
Oh, drum roll.
We've got a drum roll.
Unbelievable.
Oh my God, budget.
Bang.
Zubitis.
Are you here?
Are you here, Zubitis? Are you winner? You must be here to claim your prize. Zubitis, reveal yourself.
Oh, dear.
Reveal yourself.
We might be here all night spinning this wheel.
Reveal yourself. They have not revealed themselves. Here's
10.
the countdown for Zubitis. 5. We don't start from 10, Nick.
Okay, sorry.
4, 3. It's a nice idea. 2, 1. Zubitis not. It is not you. Bad luck. We will respin the wheel of Poker Justice.
Is it luck? This should be here, Nick.
That's true.
You don't redeem and then not turn
Lack
up.
of personal organisation.
Lack of personal organisation, lack of desire.
Respin. I'm trying to get Nick to the Liverpool game.
I can't hear myself think here. This drum roll's loud.
Exciting, isn't it? I wish I'd added it. I feel so special. Nargiza, I know you're here. Nargiza, A188, unless you went to bed. Nargiza, reveal yourself to the group. Nargiza, you've won a $109 ticket, but you must claim it.
Oh, dear.
Nargiza was here and chatting half an hour ago. This could be the worst quit the stream decision of all time.
Oh, goodness me.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, God.
Start the countdown, Nick.
Nargiza 5. This is terrible. 4. They were chatting. They were emojiing. 3, 2. I have to do it. I have to play fair.
You have to do
1, 0. Oh no! Disaster.
it. Complete
Bad luck,
explosion.
Nargiza. You say respin the wheel, Nick. Maybe you'll have them.
I'll give it a go.
Find someone.
Spin the wheel.
Spin the wheel. Here we go. Poker Pro, we're not doing that. We're not doing a wheel with only people in chat. The whole point is this could go on forever. That's what's made it a viral sensation. Adrian's fit. Adriano's fit. Adriano's fit. Are you Adriano's? Are you here? It doesn't matter how fit you are. Are you here? Adriano's. Adriano's fit.
No. It can't possibly be this way, Nick. We need to go. We need to go to bed, guys.
We've got way deeper than this before. This is child's play.
We're scraping the
Adriano's
surface.
fit.
No, he's not here.
Is your countdown 5? Everyone gets a countdown. 4, 3, 2, 1. No, Adrianos does not win. Respin. Look at Nick Eastwood. He's suffering. He's dying.
Oh, my God,
This
man.
is the worst thing that's happened to him. Let's keep him here. Spin the wheel. The drum roll sort of makes it more painful somehow.
It is so painful. I was really happy with it the first one, and now I'm like, oh. It's the pits.
It's the pits. You're here. It's the pits. I know you're here.
You said that before, Nick.
I know.
Oh, what the hell's
yourself
going
as the
on?
pits.
We need to change the OBS, guys.
It's the Pits has won. Yes, a $109 ticket for It's the Pits. You are not the Pits. You're a winner. Nicely done. We've got to find one more winner. It's coming.
It's got to be.
Spin the wheel of poker justice. Let's find someone that's been good all week. It only ever lands on good people. The moral arbiter of poker is about to speak. I've got a good feeling about this.
I can't even hear you.
I swear I'm talking. It's Norwitz. Norwitz feels like somebody that's just smashed their palm on their keyboard. Norwitz, are you here? Norwitz, doesn't look like you're here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Respin.
This is
Respin the wheel of poker justice. I can do this all night.
stop entering giveaways, guys. If you're not here,
Let's find a winner. Find me a winner. Tokyo Goo has won before. There's a good chance they're here. Tokyo Goo, bring us your Japanese slime.
a serial winner. Here, of course.
Yes.
Of course. It's over, Nick. It's over.
It's over. Congratulations, winners. I apologise if you didn't win. I don't really. Them's the breaks. But you'll get lots more chances to win on the channel starting tomorrow night with Nick Eastwood, who's going to go and sleep for 14 hours. His very best tomorrow night when he battles Josh Manley. We'll be back here next Tuesday with the really exciting. Make sure you've noted your calendars. It's the final of the $1 million guaranteed main event for the XL Winter Series. I hope you'll be playing it and reach that final. That would be awesome. Nick, have you had fun?
I've had a great time. I just can't get enough.
I know we see that. We love your commitment. Huge thanks to Nick Eastwood. Thanks to everyone that made the show possible behind the scenes as well. Thanks to Lime. I'm Nick Wealth for 888. We'll see you next week. Good night.